Hello, cosmic beings. Welcome to Being Cosmic. If this is your first time here, welcome, welcome. If you're returning back, welcome, welcome. Yes, my name is Devon, and I will be doing a collective message today. So, with that, take what resonates and leave what doesn't. All right, we're going to get into it and see what wants to come through for the collective. I actually wasn't planning on recording, and then I heard like there's a message that wants to come through. So, let's see what's going um, yeah, thank you for being here. Thank you for your support. Like, shares, comments, subscribes, and the donations all really do help out. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And if you would like personal reading from me, that information is in the description box below. Alrighty. What's going on? What do we need? Spirit? Okay. Orphaned. That's a hell of a start. Um, this is the energy of literally just feeling alone. It's feeling misunderstood. It's feeling like you could be in a crowd of people and nobody in that crowd will understand you. It's the energy of not really truly being seen, or appreciated, or, it's just, yeah, it's deep misunderstanding. Um, you're probably straight up, your soul is probably not from here. It's really common for there's different labels. There's confirmation. We've got Starseed, Lightworker. There's also the waves of Indigo Children, Crystal Children, Rainbow Children. Um, and it's common for souls of this nature to feel alone. But just know that there are other people on the planet that will get you, that do understand you. We're just kind of plopped in different parts of the world right now. But more and more people are waking up, and it takes being around a bunch of people who are not in alignment to realize that, it's just not working. But with that though, I feel like in this energy there is somebody that you are aware of that can make you not feel as alone. Let's see. I have a book. I don't know what that one's about. And rest. Okay. No place like home, not for you. What the huh? Soulmates. It's like home, resting. Okay. It's just I'll open up to receive different messages, and then sometimes that counterpart thread just comes right on through. Um, by doing things by the book, by doing things by societal standards, you have found a lot of people who are not for you. You found a lot of people, places, and things actually that are not for you. Um, again, it's part of what I was talking about just a minute ago of experiencing, karmic connections, so to speak. Just things that are out of alignment from your true self. And then we learn to kind of mask or people please or only show part of us because that's the part that's accepted. Um, and the thing is now is I feel like there is this desire. It's exhausting to always feel alone. It really is. And this is that sense of like you could be in a partnership with somebody and still feel alone. Still feel not fully seen, understood, appreciated, etc. And there is a soulmate here that does feel like home for you. So you do have a soul connection that you do feel at home with. And yeah, I feel like you know who this person is. If you don't know who this person is, just know that you do have soulmates coming to you. We do have more than one soulmate. It's just talking about a similar soul origin. So they have similar core soul frequencies. So there's a level of understanding, appreciation, truly being seen. And then, in this instance, I am feeling like you have a very high level soulmate that could be romantic, that does make you feel like home. That being said, this might be a situation where you're just being called to really allow yourself to open up to receive this type of connection with somebody. A connection that makes you feel like you are at home with another person. You do have it in your energy. I am feeling that. So just know that. There is somebody. And in this in this soulmates card, there's like a face in the clouds. And oh, wow, wow. Oh, okay. There's a face in the cards here, and what I'm being shown is that this connection, I am getting romantic. But it might be platonic. Either way, this soulmate connection that you are calling in right now is you are getting divine assistance. There are like guides and ancestors, angels, the divine, whatever you work with. Um, they are helping to assist this connection to lock it in. We've got why. I feel like you've gone through a period of introspection where you're really asking those questions like who, what, why, when, where. This is deep introspection energy. And I feel like something that was illuminated to you is that you do have somebody that you can connect with that does feel like home for you, but there is a little bit of a worry that this isn't actually who that is. That being said, you do have a deep knowing that you are on the brink of bringing in a new life. You're entering into your new life, and that is the land of milk and honey, which is prosperity, abundance, happiness, love, peace, ease. It's so different than this orphaned energy and feeling like you don't belong and life's just not doing what you want it to do. You're really in a huge transition moment. And it's just about allowing yourself to open up and accept um connections and know that you do have connections out there that are going to be more fulfilling than what you have been experiencing. This not for you energy is about to be a thing of the past, I'm hearing, which is beautiful. And you have a deep knowing about it because part of your new life is having a bunch of soulmates around you who can see you, understand you. I do feel like you might actually shift into an energy where you're guiding other people along this journey. You're reaching out to other, star beings or whatever you want to term it, other, kind of awakened souls, so to speak. And right now you are between worlds. And so this is the energy of like your old life is falling away and you're on the brink of bringing in your new life. This is also talking about living in kind of the physical realm while simultaneously accessing divine information. So this is literally walking in two worlds. I resonate with this very much so. It's the energy where you can walk into a room and you're literally perceiving a lot more than what most people in that room are perceiving. And with that, it does take time to get used to it. So just know that if you're kind of struggling, just know that you will get used to it. You'll learn more on how to anchor it in, how to ground yourself, and also how to turn it on and off. That is something you do have the ability to do. And if it gets overwhelming, you can just turn it down. That being said, there's sometimes when you do have to kind of pull into hermit mode a little bit, to let those new upgrades and gifts and stuff kind of integrate. Um, okay, so you have a leg up when it comes to this situation. I am getting a romantic thread of energy here, especially with this loyal heart energy. This is, soulmate, the counterpart, whatever it is for you. So you do have this available for you in your new life, and you do have a deep knowing about it. This is something I feel like you've been manifesting consciously or unconsciously for quite some time. I feel like it is more conscious now. It is something that you're consciously allowing yourself to desire, even though there might be a part of you that's still a little worried it's not going to happen. But just know if this is something you're desiring, it's because you can have it. And you have a deep knowing about it. Um, Okay, so you're between worlds right now. Do your best to stay in the here and now. Pull into the present moment. That's when you're going to hear your intuition. Make sure to stay flexible with the guidance that you're getting, and also know that you have a leg up when it comes to this new life and also this romantic counterpart, love, soulmate situation. You really do. You have a leg up. The divine gave you a leg up. You have a leg up in the situation, especially if you're a counterpart. I mean, it is what it is. Nobody else can really match your energy, and you're a perfect match for somebody else. So just know that. Chopwood, this is talking about mundane tasks. So this is talking about your day-to-day stuff that you need to do. Working on the car, working on the yard, cleaning the house, doing laundry, that kind of thing. The thing is it landed over here on a deep knowing and milk and honey. So maybe in some of those mundane tasks, you have been getting insight and guidance when you're doing those things, which is kind of normal, because you can enter like this meditative kind of hypnotic state and then receive guidance from the divine when you're doing those other tasks, busy work kind of stuff. And so I feel like you do have a deep knowing, and that knowing and that insight definitely could have came to you when you're doing your mundane tasks, whatever that is for you. It could even be just kind of sitting and vegging and like playing a game or something, and then you get some insight. So you definitely are getting insight when it comes to your new life. You definitely are getting guidance on it. And it definitely does include a very high level soulmate. Yes. So yeah, you're just you're in the liminal space. You're in the in between space, which is that between worlds card. You're in the in between right now. So just allow yourself to, kind of embrace it. It's a weird place to be. Your old life doesn't fit anymore, but you're not quite in your new life yet. It hasn't fully manifested. But the thing is it's one of those by doing, maybe that's part of a call over here is to allow yourself to be more open and in a meditative state when you're doing mundane tasks to let some of that knowing come in, because you're being guided on how to fully anchor into this new life, this new experience, this new reality. You're being guided, um and you're just really being called to really allow yourself to get that guidance, to bring that guidance through. And that's where staying in the present moment is really going to help with that. It's hard when just used to not, being present. We're not really taught how to be present in the now moment. It's just not something that we're taught. And so it can be a little difficult to get to that point, but keep going because you're almost there. Okay, okay. Yeah, I was talking about receptive energy. That's divine feminine energy. So when you're doing your mundane tasks and you're doing your thing, but you're open and receiving divine guidance, that's you and your divine feminine energy. It's not a gender thing. For some of you, you have unfinished business with the divine feminine. Surprise, surprise. This thread of energy has come out a whole hell of a lot. So for some of you, part of this new life includes finishing what you started with the divine feminine. And in this sense, it's literally finishing life. It's literally like this next phase of life is you and I'm getting counterpart off of that energy. Yeah, there's nothing else coming through for the unfinished symphony card. So yeah, that's gonna be for the counterpart energy that's coming through. So it's, you're in between worlds. It's time to finish what you started. You know this. You have a deep knowing. You've been getting the insight. You've been getting the guidance. You might be a little fearful right now. You might be up in your head. You might not be fully allowing yourself to realize this is for you, but it is. And you have a deep knowing it is. You have a deep knowing. You felt that sense of home with this person. So you know this is your person. And it's one of those allow yourself to really tap into that energy, tap into that knowing, understand that you have a leg up, you know. It's literally your person. All that glitters. It's not in the reverse. Okay. All that glitters. This card normally talks about temptation, seeing things um for something other than what they actually are. So fool's gold versus real gold. It's that kind of an energy. It came out in reverse right on top of this divine feminine card. So maybe there was somebody masquerading as your divine feminine or as your counterpart energy, soulmate, and then you realized you got some sort of clarity when you were doing mundane tasks or something like that. Something came in and gave you this deep ass knowing that that person is actually not for you. The other thing that's coming through is you also have the awareness now that this feminine energy is I just heard is yours. So, if I'm talking to a masculine who is on the counterpart journey, who's not communicating with the counterpart, this is coming through to let me know that you recently fully came into an awareness that this is actually your person. Um, yeah, maybe you were kind of like back and forth, not really sure, kind of suspecting it, but not really sure. And then something happened. You got clarity. Um, For some of you, it has something to do with social media. You saw something on social media. Maybe somebody posted something about counterparts that clicked. Maybe you saw your actual counterparts post something and it was a sign for you. Something like that. I'm seeing social media that there was something that illuminated it to you almost to a point where you can't deny it anymore. Um, and just know that, yeah, you've got a leg up when it comes to that situation. If it is not a counterpart energy that you're resonating with, this is telling me that you are not in a temptation energy. You are not being tempted to go for something that is not meant for you. You are seeing things clearly. You are understanding that there are certain things that look shiny on the outside and are a little stanky on the inside. Little rotten on the inside. You have the ability to see through the mask, and on this card, there's masks here. So you have the ability to see through this mask, and you know that there are certain people, places, and things that may look good on the outside, but they're not actually meant for you in this next phase of your life, and you're in your new life over here. So that's beautiful. That's a really good energy. Okie dokie. What else wants to come through really quick? Spit out. Peace. Oh. Yeah. Allowing yourself to finish what you started is going to bring peace because it landed right on that unfinished symphony card. Also being in the present moment is going to help bring you peace. But that is something I feel like you're really working on. That's something you're deeply desiring. That's something that yeah, I feel like you really, really just want to feel at peace, and you're about to, is what I'm hearing. You're about to feel at peace. For some of you, it's requiring you to take action first. Especially if it's a counterpart situation, you're a masculine, you're being asked to, break no contact, basically. Um, for others of you, it's going to be something, different, but that's where it's staying in alignment, tapping into intuition, pulling in the here and now, and then following that divinely guided inspiration when it comes up. We've got the fates. This is talking about destiny. This is talking about fated connections, things like that. The thing to understand is it's one of those when we're looking at soul blueprint, we have certain fated things that we agree to or we desire to experience, and so that's where that fate comes in. The thing is it's we have free will. So just because we meet somebody that we asked to meet and it was a destined meeting doesn't mean that we have to do whatever with that person that was, part of the soul contract. We do have soul contracts to meet people to potentially have, romantic connections or friendships or business partner or whatever, but that doesn't mean we have to. So it's one of those, just understand that. There are, situations and people that we're meant to experience and meet, and that's stuff that our soul chose to experience before coming in. And then as a human, we have the free will choice to decide what to do with that at that time. Now, here's where it gets funny. Half the time we don't know that until we're fully awakened. And so there that can bring grief and pain later on down the road if you realize that you did meet somebody that was something, more to you than you realized in the moment. But understand you didn't have the awareness of this beforehand for a reason. And you come into the awareness when you come into the awareness of this for a reason, right? Divine timing, so on and so forth. If we knew all the things, our experience would be very different. So, some things are meant to be a surprise. Some things are meant to be found out through the experience. Some things are meant to see hindsight 2020. And so just remember that. Yeah, we've got mending over here. So mending this connection, for some of you, if it's a connection situation for you, mending this connection is going to bring you peace. Um, I'm not getting anything else from that card. Okay, so that's gonna be for the counterpart thread. Which is funny because it's literally like thread on here. Um, it's blue thread. And yeah, I'm getting that in this situation, this is somebody that you are meant to work with, build with, do life with for some of you. Like it's a romantic energy for some of you. Some of you, it's just platonic. It's somebody that can help you not feel so alone. Somebody that can help you, really get to this land of milk and honey and shift out of this in between space and find peace and allow your divine feminine energy to fully come online and receive that inner guidance and all of those things. So it doesn't necessarily have to be romantic, though we do have a couple romantic cards out here. So there definitely is that thread of energy for some of you. Okay, what else? Round and round we go. Mm-mm-mm. Okay, for some of you, interesting, you went round and round and round with other people. This is talking about cycles, cycle repeats. Doing something, it's the same thing with a different person or the same thing at a different job, or it's finding the same energy but in a different container. So that can be the energy where like somebody they have quote unquote bad relationships, and then the next person that they meet ends up being the same type of person as the person that they were with before. It's because they haven't learned and integrated those lessons. And so they're going to continue to attract people from that perspective until they learn and integrate those lessons. And then they're, off this round and round energy. So there's definitely closing out cycles that's coming through. And there is something with a fated connection or a fated meeting with somebody, just depending on, what this is for you, that is going to help you with this. For others of you, it is finishing what you started and mending the situation with the divine feminine. So that's the counterpart energy. It's just going to depend. But yeah, you're getting ready to get off of some of these cycles, and that's part of why you are entering in a new life, basically, because you've learned a lot. And you can feel this. There's a change in the wind. You could be having a change in your community. You could have had some awareness about your community. You could feel like you're on shaky ground right now. That's normal when you're in between worlds and you're in the liminal space and you're basically shifting from one way of doing things to another way of doing things. Understand that you are literally doing inner alchemy. If you are shifting and, changing these cycles and changing how you show up and so on and so forth, you're literally doing inner alchemy. So maybe look into alchemy. Um, Funnily enough, I actually just started reading a book on alchemy last night. Anyways, okay, we've got Happy Happy, Treasure Island, and TikTok. Oh my goodness. So divine timing is at play. Um, yeah, for some of you, the time is now and you know it's now. Um, so divine timing is at play in helping you to lock in this new life. You are getting ready to find your treasure. You are getting ready to embark on a journey of some sort. For some of you, you've already been on the journey. It's that inner journey. And you are getting ready to see physical manifestations of the inner work that you've been doing. Okay, that is the message for everyone. So you've been doing the inner work necessary, and now you're about to see it manifesting outside of yourself. And that is going to make you so, so happy. Like happy, 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 happy. This is this is a beautiful energy. This really, really is. Truth be told. Okay. For some of you, it's speaking your truth. I'm definitely getting that for the counterpart energy. It's time to speak your truth to your person. You already know this. We've been talking about it. We've been going round and round and talking about it for some time now. You already know that it's time. You know. You have a deep knowing, and you're just going to continue to experience similar energy until you actually reach out. Others of you, this is about speaking your truth in a different way. Maybe it's speaking your truth to a friend. Maybe it's speaking your truth to a different community. Where'd the community card go? It went somewhere. Oh, it's right there. Yeah, for some of you, it's speaking your truth to a certain community, like a certain collective where you're guiding people and you're speaking about your story and your experience, and that's going to help guide other people. For others of you, I'm getting something about boundaries coming through. You speaking your truth in a way where you have boundaries around your energy and you're not just letting anybody access it anymore. And it's one of those, I don't mean that in like a sexual way. I don't know why that just popped up in my mind. So I'm not meaning that in a sensual way, but maybe for some of you, that was just random. But no, I mean this in an energetic way. I mean this in a way of over giving with your time, your energy, your effort, maybe you hold space for people a lot so that they can process their emotions and everything else. And then it's just draining because you're over giving. It's that energy that I feel like is shifting, or you're being asked to really look at that and, stand in your truth and set up some boundaries so that, understand not everybody deserves access to you. It is what it is. Um, um, but yeah, there's the definite dominant thread over here, 'cause especially where I'm gonna put it. It's right next to divine timing, and it's on the fates card and the round and round card. So, the counterpart energy is coming through pretty heavy right here, and that is letting you know that by speaking your truth, it's gonna help you get off these cycles. You are speaking to a fated connection, type of dynamic. Again, it's not saying you have to lock in a union or reunion with this person, though I do feel like that is ultimately the goal, and you and your person are both on board for that. But it's time. It's time for this. And there's some other readings, if you're curious, and that is resonating with you. If you go back and watch some of my previous readings, I go into what is on the other side of you reaching out. It's absolutely stunning. It's beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful, beautiful energy. Okay, yeah. This is talking about taking that step and bringing imagination into reality and actually manifesting it. So if it is the energy where you are desiring somebody and you're having daydreams and fantasies about that person, it's time to speak that to this person so that you can start experiencing that in real time, in reality, and really start to anchor it in. You're just okay, the message coming through is you're just prolonging the process at this point. You're prolonging the inevitable. So it's one of those, like, what you're envisioning is reality for you. You just have to allow yourself to anchor it in. And that's it. So it's time. It's time. Come to the edge. Being told to read it. Give me just a second. I need to get some water. Okay, so let's see here. Okay. Mom. So this is courage, taking a leap of faith, overcoming fear, and accepting risk. Okay, yeah. So this is what you're being asked to do. You're being asked to take the leap of faith and to speak your truth in some way. Um, yeah. I'm definitely getting soulmate counterpart energy for real coming through. This can also be in other areas of life though. It's talking about facing the unknown, taking that leap of faith into the unknown. I'm seeing the Fool in my mind's eye, which is it's basically the same energy but in the tarot. It's telling you that it's time now to take a risk. You are ready for this leap of faith. Spirit is present with you, so let go of the fear. You are called to express your true self. Listen to your heart and your soul, not your head. Come to the edge and discover that you can fly. You must step into the unfamiliar so that you may find your miracles. Yeah, buddy. So again, I do feel like for a lot of you, you are manifesting a soulmate connection, and that is definitely in the cards for you. For others of you, I mean, I am getting interpersonal relationships for the most part. So this could just be in community in general, where you're with people who you don't feel so alone around. And just know that for some, in order to do that, you're going to have to take a leap of faith, right? You're not just going to have somebody from your soul tribe come up to your door and knock on your door and say, "What's up?" You're gonna have to go to the farmer's market. You're gonna have to go to that, weird random tea spot or kava bar or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, it's random. It's those random nudges that you get from the divine that are bringing you serendipitously to these fated connections. And there's plenty of times if you think back where you're like, oh yeah, I normally wouldn't have gone to that place, but I felt like going there randomly and then I met this person. So just know that is literally how the divine works. And it's important to pay attention to those signs and to take that leap of faith when you're being asked to take that leap of faith. Growth doesn't come in the comfort zone. You have to get out of the comfort zone. What does that mean? It is uncomfortable. You have to put yourself out there. You have to take risks. No risk, no reward. Like it's really that energy. Where you are being called actually right now to take a leap of faith. You know what that leap of faith is. And you have a deep knowing that it is time for this. And you do know that it's literally it's the thing you're being asked to do to jump towards your dream timeline. So for some of you, that is reaching out to a person. For others of you, that is going to be, following those nudges, starting that business, taking that leap of faith and reaching out to that person that you would like to mentor you. It's things like that. But you're ready for it. And it is being divinely, I heard orchestrated, but led. I'm gonna say divinely led. Okay, 49. This is the observer. I'm really getting the energy of like observing. Yeah, perspective. That's what I was thinking. Okay, perspective, objectivity, neutral observation from a distance. Um, okay, there's something, that's what it is. Something about you taking this leap of faith is going to help change your perspective. There is a person that you can trust and you are coming together with that person. Um, yeah, so it's really about looking at things from a different perspective and understanding that sometimes we're called to do something that, maybe feels very uncomfortable and we don't know why fully. We can guess, but we're not going to fully see why until we do it. But there is something about a massive perspective shift that is happening in this energy. And I do feel like it's after you take this leap of faith. I feel like that's when the perspective's fully going to shift and you're fully going to see it from a different perspective. You're fully going to understand why everything happened the way it did, why the timing is what it was, or what it is, why now it was the perfect time to do this thing. I almost said reach out. So for some, that is a dominant thread of energy here is reaching out to somebody. You're going to understand why, but you're not going to have this perspective shift until you do that thing. So, yeah, you're really being pushed to take a leap right now. Take a leap of faith, trust the guidance that you've been getting. You have a deep inner knowing. Let the past be the past. All right. Like, if this is mending something from the past, with this mending card and the unfinished symphony card, understand that by going through this mending process, it's going to put you in the energy that is necessary for you to actually manifest and live your new life, which does include abundance, prosperity, soulmate connections, uplifting community. I am getting soul purpose and also dream career. So there's a lot writing on this. And that might be part of what's causing a little bit of stress. However, just know that this is for you. What you've been getting insight on, this is the energy of like, you've been getting this guidance. You've been getting this insight. The universe has been coming through with constant, constant, constant confirmations and signs and synchronicities and it dreams and everything. Like literally the universe cannot scream in your face any louder about this thing. That's the energy coming through. Like there is not much more that the universe can do with the energy and with what you're being guided to do other than what it's been doing. So it's getting to the point where it's like you at some point are going to have to sit back and say, okay, like I know that I'm actually getting these intuitive guide like signs and so on and so forth, and it is time to take this leap. The universe literally can't push you any harder right now. Like that's the energy coming through. Like it's going to be constant, continued pressure. But there's literally nothing else the universe can do right now that's going to give you any extra confirmation and help to shift your perspective and help you gain this deeper understanding until you actually do what you are being guided to do, what you are being pushed to do right now. There is definitely the energy of reaching out to somebody. Maybe it's a mentor, maybe it's a counterpart, maybe it's somebody that would be a great friend. And others of you, this might come up in like a soul purpose way as well, but it's really coming through to let you know, like, You have been ignoring your intuition, love. And you know you have been at some point, at some level. You know that you have been ignoring your intuition because, like, what else other than putting somebody literally on your doorstep, what else, or randomly seeing somebody that you need to mend something with, other than the universe literally putting that person in front of you in the physical, what else could the universe do to guide you to do this leap of faith that you're being asked to take? It's one of these things that's coming through. The universe is not going to put, if this is a mending connection situation with unfinished business from your past, the universe is not going to put this person in your face for a reason, because you need to, God, what that word need. There is something in the energy where you are being asked to show the universe that you are ready to leap into the unknown. If the universe puts you in a situation where you know before doing something that it is safe to do so, it's opposite of what the guidance is right now. You're shifting into an energy where you're literally getting ready to live from alignment. Now, the thing is, when you're living from alignment and you're manifesting from the 5D and you're really working with quantum manifestation and things like that, it works differently. Okay. You're not going to know it's safe until after you trust yourself to take the leap. And that's really a huge part of this is trusting yourself, trusting your own guidance, trusting in the divine, that the divine is not going to lead you astray. Okay. The divine's not going to give you nudges for something to happen intentionally to destroy you or make you fall apart or bring you massive amounts of pain. That's not what this is. But you're not going to get the comfort that you're seeking before taking this leap, because that's counterintuitive. That's literally like a paradox. You are being asked to follow your own deeper inner knowing, to trust yourself, to trust your intuition, and to allow yourself to take this leap of faith, trusting in the universe and trusting in your higher self that it is indeed leading you into this beautiful new life. And this is where, again, um, you've been ignoring your intuition. You've been ignoring the signs and the guidance that's being put in front of you. The universe has been screaming in your face for some time with signs and synchronicities, and it's not coincidence at this point. It can't be. It literally, probability wise, just like is so unlikely. It's not even funny. And so it's one of these things that by continuing to just not listen, you're just making it more uncomfortable for yourself and you're delaying your new life. Like you're delaying what the universe is bringing you right now. And you are shifting into living in alignment. And again, when you're living in alignment, the path isn't clear. Okay, because you are paving the path. You are paving the path with divine guidance. And so you're not going to see the path because you're the way shower. You're the one cutting through the bushes on that path. And so you're only going to see the next step or two or five. You're not going to see the whole path because it hasn't been laid out before you by somebody else because you're walking your own path. And so with that, what that looks like is the divine comes through and says, move to the left. And you're like, fucking why? And the divine's like, move to the left. And you're like, okay. And you move to the left and boom, you meet somebody who's awesome that becomes a lifelong friend. And then the universe says, take two steps to the right and then turn around. And then you're like, why? And then it's like, do it, do it, do it. And then you do it, and you turn around and you're like, oh my gosh, I just found this thing that just helped me tap into my soul purpose. That's how it works on this path. It's really challenging to get used to, but understand that is literally the process that this path requires. It is very, very nerve-wracking for the ego. The ego does not like it because the ego does not want to forge ahead on an unknown path because you might end up on a cliff. But it's trusting in your higher self to know that they're looking at a bird's eye view and they're not going to lead you off a cliff. So when the guidance is saying, do this thing, do this thing, do this thing, it's because it is the next step for you to take on this path that you are paving. That's why the message wanted to come through tonight. Holy moly guacamole. Okay. Got a little heated. Not really heated, it's passionate. Like, I got, it's passionate energy, and sometimes the messages come through like that, and it's, again, like, understand, do what you do. Like, you don't have to do any of this, but it's just understanding how this works. This is one of those, like, like, you asked for this on a soul level, and so understanding why your guidance system looks different than other people's is very, very helpful. And it's also, the divine's trying to bring you into this energy where you don't feel like you're orphaned and alone, where you don't feel like you're struggling so hard, where you don't feel like you're being pulled in 15 different directions and you just don't know which way to go. The divine is working with you and through you in order for you to literally land in the milk, like land in the land of milk and honey. Um, and really get going on this beautiful new life that you have ahead of you. I mean, it is so beautiful. You just have to jump. You just have to trust and surrender and allow and take that leap of faith, even though it scares the ever loving shit out of you. And that's okay. It's one of those things, like, that's when you leap and the net appears by the divine. Like, you're not just randomly leaping, you're being, divinely led at this point. So this is literally a giant leap of faith. It's a trust fall in knowing that the universe, that which creates worlds, is literally waiting to catch you. So, okay, well, with that, I feel like that was the message. Um, sometimes it comes through like that. Like, seriously, sometimes, dude, my guides, sometimes I get tough love from my guides. It comes through a little harsh. And it's not really like, it's not mean or anything. It's just like in my face, like, you're not listening. And I'm like, you're fucking right. Thanks. So sometimes it takes a little more passionate, tough love. So, anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and leave this here. Ultimately, you have a beautiful, beautiful life on the other side of this leap. I mean, you just, allow yourself to leap and see. Take this leap. Trust the divine. Trust your guidance. Trust yourself. You've come far enough on this journey. You can trust yourself. You really have. You've done the inner work. You've come a long way. So allow yourself to trust in yourself. Trust in your guidance, trust in your higher self, trust in the divine, and know that what the divine is bringing you is literally a beautiful new life. With literally, the divine wants you to live the life of your dreams. Okay, so keep that in mind. That's why you're on this path. You're on this path to pave the way for yourself and to live this beautiful life that you really, really want to live, while also simultaneously helping the collective, even if you're not actually physically doing something to help them. It's just an energy thing. The more of us that can align with our highest timeline, the more we can like provide those energy codes in the quantum realm to other people. It's really a beautiful thing that's happening right now, and you're on the front lines of it. So allow yourself to recognize that. Allow yourself to tap into the fact that you are a badass soul here at this on this planet at this time. Like, you're here to live your best life so that you can help other people live their best life. But first you have to allow yourself to take this leap of faith to live your best life. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and leave it here. Um, all my love, you got this. You really, really do. It's coming through so passionately because of what beautiful energy you have waiting for you on the other side of this. Like, I mean, it's so beautiful. And you're gonna feel so good. Ugh. Okay. I'm gonna leave it here for real. Wishing you all the best. You got this. You really, really do. If you would like to see more from me, you can hit subscribe. It is free. Feel free to hit that like button. It does help out the channel, so thank you. And if you would like to talk to me about any of this, or if you want clarity or anything else, other video ideas, definitely let me know in the comments below, and I will see you on the next one.